The individual mandate for health care.
Right.
Obama was, let me get this right, against it before he was for it?
Exactly. You know, people forget that in the 2008 primary against Hillary Clinton, one of the big running major issues between then Senator Obama and Hillary Clinton was her support for the individual mandate, and Obama criticized her like nobody's business for supporting this. He said Hillary forces you to buy insurance even if you can't afford it, and his general argument was that the reason people have insurance isn't because they don't want it; it's because they can't afford it. It's too expensive.
Yeah. I have some of the quotes that you mentioned in your piece today about this on Political Diary. This is President Obama criticizing, or then Senator Obama criticizing Hillary Clinton during the primary season in 2008. He said she'd have the government force every individual to buy insurance. I don't have such a mandate in my plan because I don't think the problem is that people don't want insurance, it's that they can't afford it. And then he said, you know, if things were that easy, meaning just forcing people to buy things, I could mandate everybody to buy a house, and then we'd get rid of homelessness.
Right. And
those arguments sound familiar, don't they, Joe?
You know, the interesting part is now that the court is going to rule, if they uphold the individual mandate, maybe he will require everyone to buy a house. Who knows? That's sort of the scope of federal power is what they're adjudicating.
Well, it sounds like gay marriage is not the only issue in which the president's views are evolving, as he likes to put it. But we should give people some background here, because, and namely what the argument was in 2008, because this argument goes back a long time. And my understanding is that originally the view on the left, or the preference on the left, is to sort of Medicare for everyone, the single payer model. And the individual mandate was presented as an alternative to that model, correct?
Absolutely. Developed in the 1990s by the Heritage Foundation and some other thinkers. But the idea that there's kind of a hegemon, you know, all Republicans supported the mandate, I think is simply false. You know, it was very controversial, even within the Republican Party, and certainly when Mitt Romney instituted one in Massachusetts. The Wall Street Journal criticized it at the time. Many others did. So there's certainly some conservatives who've supported it in the past, but it's certainly not a monolith.
You wrote that Obama's opposition to the mandate initially was actually smart politically. How come?
Well, it's simple. Most Americans, 2/3 of Americans, are uncomfortable with the coercion that the individual mandate represents, the sort of raw government force. And not all of them are Republicans. A lot of, you know, John Sweeney, the former head of the AFL-CIO, was a huge critic of the mandate when Mitt Romney leveled one in Massachusetts, and they've sort of come around now. You have almost a total flip, and so it was smart for him to say, well, look, Hillary, she goes too far. I'm the reasonable one. I'm the moderate.
Okay, Joe. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much
Jason.
for joining us.